something that may even shock you, astound you.
You mean you're sober?
Even more shocking. What is it? I shaved my head. My head's been shaved for 18 years, 9 months, and 16 days. Well, I know this because I shaved it the last day of the 1900s. I actually had wanted to do it a lot longer than that. Well, why? I grew up as a teenager in the 1960s. Any of you young people, have you heard about the 60s? Time of peace, love, freedom,
Automobiles.
that too. Keyword was do your own thing. Yeah, right. There were as many rules of conformity as ever. For example, you could not wear a nice suit and tie. You had to dress down, be sloppy. You could not like Elvis Presley.
That's not hard.
He was a has-been from the 1950s. But most of all, you had to have a long, beautiful head of hair. I have some good ancestors. I'm proud of my stock. And yet, for some reason, they did not bequeath me a good head of hair. I like to follow the rules. I like to conform. I tried to grow my hair long. I looked ridiculous. For reasons beyond my control, I could never be a good hippie.
You lucked out.
Well, the 1960s became the 1970s. And a lot of those freedom-loving, long-haired, dirty hippies suddenly became materialistic and greedy and put on a suit and tie. As for Elvis Presley, the poor guy died. Suddenly everybody except for Bob loved him again. But it was still taboo to shave your head until a hero appeared on the horizon. The most famous, the most popular athlete of the time. Anybody guess who that was?
Joe Louis?
Not quite. Michael Jordan. And once Michael Jordan shaved his head, it was okay for all men to shave their heads. Women, not so easy. But I was still skeptical. For one thing, both of my first 2 wives were against the idea. And that's partly why they're ex-wives. Finally, it was December 31st, 1999. I was afraid the world was going to end once the year 2000 came because of the Y2K bug. Remember that? Yes. The truth is, there were more computer problems from the Y2K bug than we really want to let on. But that would be a topic for another talk, perhaps. Anyway, I went down to the barber for the last time, told him, take it all off. And he did. I got back home with my newly bald dome. There was an email from an acquaintance of mine who lives in Australia. It already was Y2K in Australia. he sent me this email. He said, everything's copacetic. Too late. I'd already shaved it off. It remained shaved 2.5 months later when I married Jody. I'm staying with her because she's okay with this. It remained shaved 10 years later when I moved here to Bellingham. It has been just like this, my beautiful bald dome, for the last 8 years that I've been with this club. See, you don't mind, I know, you've seen a few H-spots appear on the top of my head. But fellow Toastmasters, I have to warn you, I plan to continue having my head shaved for the rest of my days till the day I die. Mr. Toastmaster.